What's going on YouTube? This is Acro Breeder and this is my update for October 2020. It is going to be a one take, so forgive me if I stumble. This is what I have time for. Deal with it. So this is my 40-gallon breeder. I got a few plans for this system. I want to remove this entire side, the structure, and duplicate something similar to this Life Rock branch. I also want to liquidate these corals and go with something else. If you're in the South Florida area and you want an enormous tricolor granulosa, hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description. Acan colonies are doing nice. I fragged a couple of them here. This one I chopped off the sides. You can see where it was growing on the glass, as well as this green one. So, other than my plans to re-aquascape the far end, not much new. The acro on the glass experiment is going well. I got some frags here in the sump. I'm working on removing these and moving them into my 80 frag system that I have in my spare room. All right, on to the 75. Colors are really starting to come out. I increased feeding a little bit. I was having issues getting a reading on my nitrate and phosphate test kit. I am now testing detectable levels, so that's a start here. Let's see. Walt Disney starting to branch out a little bit. I got a strawberry shortcake, and my orange passion is growing very slow, but it has good color and it is growing. So I'm trying to think. Oh, I've worked on getting rid of most of this Slimer, selling off large pieces to people in the area. Just got to get rid of this one last stump, and I'm planning on moving the orange passion up here to the tip. Down here in the sump, got a few frags I need to work on getting out of here into the 80. I did make a trade with a local reefer and picked up this. It was sold to me as an ultimate bubble tip. It has some green on the base on the inside. You can kind of see a little bit of it peeking through. It's not fully open, but I'm pretty happy with it. It's my first anemone in about 5 years. I tried one when I first got into the hobby and did not have luck, so 5 years later I'm going to give it another shot. The monoporas spreading nicely on the glass. Kind of when they grow up here on the sides, I break off the pieces, and that's where I get frags from that. The Ophelia is doing well. Got a nice yellow hammer. It looks much more yellow in person. You can see the difference between the green. Dragon Soul back there doing nice. I don't know if you guys can notice, but I realized on my Galaxy Note 10, there's a Pro video mode, and I switched the white balance to 10K. I believe the colors are a little more true to life, but other than that, I don't have any filters on the lens or anything like that. So this Tropic Thunder Monty is rebounding. You could see the original kind of main part of the colony completely died off. I hope it encrusts back over. I never really figured that whole issue out. I think it was due to magnesium. So everything's looking good here. I did make a lot of progress on my Zoa Seahorse tank. I increased the height of my black box LED. I increased feeding, and I removed the water change system that used to share the dirty water of the 75. Then it would run a gallon into here and then a gallon outside. So now I do independent water changes with fresh water. So maybe a better concentration of trace elements helped. But they are starting to open and stay open longer. Not all of them are open. can see this one's starting to, but they are getting better day by day. I'm doing 1 5-gallon bucket water change per week. Hopefully things continue to improve. So you can see some of them are starting to look pretty decent. I did previously put 3 Bengai cardinals in here last month, and one by one I did unfortunately lose all 3. I could never really get them to eat. They would eat and then kind of spit the food out. I tried a little bit of live brine. I'm not really too sure. I'm probably done with Bengais for the rest of my reefing career. But the Seahorses, I gotta find them. There's one there in the dark, kind of relaxing. Let's see. There's a peppermint shrimp in the cave. Oh, there we go. So I'm not exactly sure how long I've had these. I'm thinking I'm coming up to a year here. So I think the average lifespan of the ORA Seahorses, they're the tiger tails, is about a year, year and a half. So hopefully they make it to 2. That would be nice. After that, I plan on switching to Kudas. I believe they live about 5 years. I was not aware when I purchased them they only lived like a year. So there's some Zoas looking decent. So I'm happy that these Zoas are finally showing themselves, and hopefully my vision comes to life. I can just picture this entire structure just covered in Zoas. I do have about 35 varieties in here, and later this week I'm making another trade with a local reefer to pick up another 5 more. So my vision here is just a solid Zoa rock structure. So I'm looking forward to that. I may end up removing the sand now that the tank is a little more stabilized, and also grow some Zoas on the glass. But that's going to be a few months down the road. One other thing I'm considering is upgrading this $90 light fixture with possibly my go-to, which is T5s. I would do a hybrid 24-inch T5 fixture, and then maybe put one Hydra 26 in the middle. I think I priced that out with the cost of 4 ATI bulbs. That's going to run about $450 for the T5, and then another $350 for the Hydra. So I got to think about that. That's quite the investment to make. All right, there's tanks in every room in this house. It's a bit of an issue, but all right, on to the 80. The water is cloudy. I've been experiencing a little bit of diatoms on the glass and on the frag racks and rocks. Just acropores in here for now. I was running out of room. Haven't had any losses. I did start putting in acros pretty much within the first week. Got a Scopus Tang under here. And I'm trying to think of this tang at the moment. It's escaping my thoughts, forgive me. They seem to be getting along pretty well. There's a little bit of aggression at times, but I think they should do all right. Oh, it's a sailfin tang. And they do get quite large, I believe almost a foot over time. But I do know several people in the hobby. I have neighbors with much larger systems, so when that time comes, I have plenty of places to transfer him to. So my goal here with these two are just to kind of maintain algae. I want to remove all the frags from the sump and the 40 and the 75 and hold them in here, make it easier to access, easier to, monitor, clean, etc. I'm tired of getting on my knees and shuffling around down there. Sump, I don't know if I've really shared this. Everything down here is doing good. The majority of the live rock I do have down here for filtration. I have a few up here for the tangs to kind of hide behind at night and sleep. A little bit of diatoms on the rocks down here, nothing serious. This is a new skimmer to me. It's a Bubble Mangus Curve 5 Elite. I do have a Curve 5 that I've been running for 4 years, which I was very happy with. And for a few extra bucks, I believe this is just a higher grade, either PVC or acrylic, I'm not too sure, plastic possibly. And it does have a higher quality pump. To me, it runs about the same, which is good. Looks a little bit nicer. Time will tell. Seems to be doing the work. Got a prime down here. I plan on putting anemones down here in the future. But my understanding is that anemones need at least a year mature tank. So currently I have that one ultimate in the 75. I went a new direction here with my cooling. I have the 120 millimeter fans just hanging from my electronic shelf by a couple of screws. They're about maybe a little over a foot, maybe 20 inches above the water, but they do work very well and bring the temperature down a degree in the course of about an hour. I have it hooked up to my Inkbird, which I run on every system. I have a Jabajo doser doing the top off and dosing 2-part. I currently have the tubes pulled up. The calcium and alkalinity got a little too high. I've been dosing about 30 milliliters per day, so I'm going to dial it down to 20. See how that does. Let's see, another Jabajo SPC 150 is what I'm running for flow, and it's just on 2 clicks, putting out immense flow. So that should work out. Seems like all my detritus is going to settle here in this one spot in the front, which should work well for siphoning out in the future. And T5 light, 4 bulbs, got the 2 blue plus, an actinic, and a coral. I plan on adding either 2 reef brights or trying to think of what's the knockoff? The Orphic LED bars. We have Black Friday coming up. Hoping I can pick those up maybe at 20% off here next month. All right, I'm starting to lose my voice for some reason. That's all I got for this month. Signing out. See you next month.